Yo, shalom.
Shalom, yo.
Yo, this is Black Ice.
This is Akis.
Welcome to the Black Narrative. I hope everybody had a great weekend.
Yeah, back at it again, another week.
Another month.
Yeah, man.
Like, man.
And
we still banned.
yeah. Hold.
We're almost there.
We're almost at the 3-month line, y'all.
Yeah, you're almost there, man. So I appreciate y'all. If y'all go ahead and like and share the video. You're watching live on the Yoshi Vibes music channel. And like I said, we'll put the broadcast immediately up on the Black Narrative after we stream. Shout out to everybody in the chat who's here with us right now. Thank you all for your support through Patreon and Cash App, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. And yeah, man, we have so much to share, man. More than I thought we were gonna have to share, but it just kept coming across stuff and news. And
I mean, the world is just moving and shaking, you know, and they're really and you see how they're really getting their agendas set up in different they're moving their board chess pieces on the board.
And so much going on, man. And a lot of things that people don't even see, and man, there's so much. But yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna share with you some news that we came across before we get into the meat of it.
Yeah.
And twins, one covered, one uncovered.
We didn't plan this.
We didn't plan this, man. I guess, but you know, it's been warm outside here in the A.
Yeah.
So I guess we give up the hoodies for the night. You know,
right.
You don't want to get too hot up here in this little bitty studio. Oh man, shalom.
Yeah, shalom.
Glad you caught us live. We appreciate that. Yeah, man, I can't wait till next month. Hopefully, it'll be back on the regular channel and everybody be notified and everybody because we miss having y'all in here. Everybody in here, but I know
seriously
it's our backup channel. And as some of y'all know, Black channels again shadow banned, but we just happen to get banned for a while.
Right. But I'm praise. Yeah, I mean, allowed us to work on our format and everything like that.
Yeah, it really did. So everything for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's been cool. And you know, we get in the groove of things. And like I said, we're working on some other things that we're really excited about as well. So just to get into it, because like I said, we got a lot that we want to share with y'all. We're going to try to push through it. And so we're going to start off with this minute clip from the White House press briefing. And in fact,
which, I mean, you already know it's going to be some mess.
You know, I meant to put up a clip of the press conference. They had the damn Easter Bunny at the damn White House, bro. At the press conference thing.
Wait, what they have there? Who?
Easter Bunny.
You kidding me?
Yeah, with the mask on, like this huge bunny.
Wow.
Yeah,
man, he's so corny.
Yeah, but it's funny because we just told people like that whole little Nas video was an attack on Christianity because a week later, Christians celebrating a sex ritual holiday with Easter.
Right.
Yeah, because we had to observe Christ's resurrection the week prior.
But I mean, because I mean, you think about Easter, you think about Catholicism, and you think about how satanic the Pope and the papacy has been.
Yeah, I mean, guess
slavery, the actual division of the New World, like all that was ordained by the Pope.
Yeah, you know, but I left a thought in the community. I was saying, if your oppressor celebrates it, we should question it.
Right, seriously.
What other culture willingly celebrate the holidays of their oppressor?
Right.
You know what I mean? We're not even forced to do it anymore. We still do it by choice. Mm-hmm. You know, like the same people
do it better than the oppressors.
Yeah, the same people that oppress you, murder you, kill you, rape you.
Right.
We celebrate the same holiday as them.
And we do it with seasoning. Extra seasoning on it.
That's crazy. Right, yeah. Got to tell somebody, like, it's funny how, you know, like I say, we woke in February with Black History Month, and a whole month later we Irish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't see no Irish people saying Black History Month.
That's interesting because I mean they're not woke. You don't see the Irish with afros and looking like something off of road bounds. But the next month we're here pinching each other.
Like you telling me, you know, you vote because our ancestors died for it, but you celebrating 4th of July when your ancestors was getting whipped and chained and murdered.
Now, ain't that something?
You know, so
and the presidents were on your ancestors.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. So anyway, we get into this press briefing. It's only a minute clip.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Just two questions. One on vaccine again. Is there any thought being given to a federally organized vaccine passport of some kind? Does the president see that maybe as some kind of tool that could be used, or would he lean more on the side of people who have raised objections over privacy and so on?
Well, let me be very clear on this. I know there's been lots of questions. The government is not now, nor will we be supporting a system that requires Americans to carry a credential. There will be no federal vaccinations database and no federal mandate requiring everyone to obtain a single vaccination credential. As these tools are being considered by the private and nonprofit sectors, our interest is very simple from the federal government, which is Americans' privacy and rights should be protected.
She keep making it clear, the federal government.
So,
baby, let it go on.
Yeah.
And so that these systems are not used against people unfairly. There is a movement, as you know, in the private sector to identify ways that they can return to events where there are large swaths of people safely in soccer stadiums or theaters. And that's something that, that's where the idea originated, and we expect that's where it will be concluded. We will be providing some guidance, which will look like an FAQ, a frequently asked question. I hate acronyms, but that provides important answers to questions that Americans have, in particular around concerns about privacy, security, or discrimination soon. I don't have an exact date for that yet.
It's really interesting how they are able to. I'm not going to say she really talked around it, but I mean she used choice vocabulary.
Yeah, the way it was very well calculated how she presented the information rather. Right. Because right after that, because I caught this clip on Twitter, and immediately somebody said, oh, see, I got that pain in the bunch for no reason. Right. And I was like, you didn't hear what she said. She said federal government, but she didn't say nothing about the private sector. Right. And we discussed this on the show. We discussed this multiple times on the show. Yeah. Almost every cruise line want to require a vaccination passport.
Private sector.
Airlines are talking about vaccination passport.
Right.
Private.
And who's actually making the vaccines? Not the federal government.
No.
But the private sector.
Private sector.
And so guess what?
It's co-signed by the government.
Right. And so who's going to be making these apps to track who's gotten vaccinated? Who's going to be making these, who's going to be owning the restaurants?
Right.
Who's going to be running the businesses? Private sectors.
Yep.
So it's going to be private sectors that are going to be controlling all these different facets of the government, while the federal government's just like, oh, we're not doing it. It's the private sectors.
And other countries want to make sure, because they know how Americans are.
Yeah.
Some of the countries are actually discussing making Americans, make it mandatory for Americans to be vaccinated to travel to their country.
Right. And
their government want it.
Something interesting that the U.S. might actually do is contract these.
They normally do.
Right. I mean, that's what they're doing with the vaccines.
They bypass their rules.
Exactly. They're contracting these private companies in order to do their bidding, while saying, I mean, look, it's the private companies that are the ones that are actually over the infrastructure. I mean, look at Amazon. Amazon's building a whole infrastructure. So is Facebook. So is SpaceX. Yep. All these private companies building these infrastructures, while the U.S. gets the government gets to take their hands off and let them drive the wheel.
I was thinking about
and wait till they get a lobbyist in.
Yeah, I was thinking it would control the government anyway.
Right.
I was thinking about, I think either the Bush or the Reagan era. They talk about, oh yeah, we don't torture people anymore.
Right.
And they don't, but they start contracting outside organizations to do the torture and the waterboarding and everything else.
Exactly.
So that's how I received that press conference. It was just real particular how they worded it, but I thought that was interesting.
They know how to use the separation of powers to their advantage.
Yeah, So I'll let you get into this because you found this one. I thought this was really good.
This one's really interesting. French Senate votes to ban hijab for Muslims under 18.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and it gets even deeper. The vote which took place on Tuesday, March 30th, also looks to ban women accompanying a school trip from wearing a hijab, and prohibits people from wearing burkinis, which is like a hijab bikini mix. A woman's swimsuit that covers the entire body in public pools. French senators who voted in favor of these rules believe the so-called anti-separation bill will prohibit a conspicuous religious sign by minors and of any dress or clothing which would signify an inferiority of women over men being worn in public spaces. So
that's wild.
That is interesting. I mean, if you could go back up, go back up so they can look at that. I mean, there's so many different angles you could look at a hijab. My bad. Let me see. Regarding the passports. It's going to be interesting to see what the state governments decide to do regarding the passports.
Yeah.
It will be the corporations that they use to implement their draconian laws. Of course.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yep. And you know, and they wash their hands of it.
Exactly.
For the inside, even though they in cahoots.
But with the whole thing with the hijabs, I mean, one thing that's interesting, first off, is I mean, of course, this is an attack on Islam, but who's to say that even a woman going around with her hair covered, well, won't be attacked, or dressing moderately?
Yeah,
and a lot of people, because a lot of people, I mean, they're showing these Arab people for the actual cover, but a lot of people don't realize that a lot of Africans in France are overall are Muslim.
Yeah.
Because Islam spread throughout these different areas like Mozambique and Mayotte and all these different African countries. So you got a lot of black followers of Islam. And the fact that they are attacking this, first off, because they interpret it as a woman being subjugated to a man, that's how they view modesty. So they view
you're being punished for being modest. You're being punished for a child to be modest.
Right.
For a child.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Not only that, I mean, they're not limited, and that's the thing, they're not even limiting it to children, because a mother can't accompany her child on a school trip if she's wearing a hijab.
Yeah, that's
a hijab.
Hijab. All right.
Yes. Thank you, Nation. If she's wearing a hijab. Yeah. And a woman can't go and have a bikini at a beach. What is that? It doesn't impede.
So what you want the minors to wear?
They want to wear more revealing clothing. Of course. I mean, you saw that French film that they pushed out the
on Netflix about the young girls
cuties or something like that.
Yeah,
so
I forget about that.
So you see what the French are on.
Yep.
So the French have no problem with this cuties film being being pushed out with these little girls dancing provocative, but let one of them want to put on a hijab.
Oh, that's just
let them try to dress modestly. So now covering yourself up is a sign of subjugation to men.
They just show how wicked this world is getting, man.
They're pushing heathenism, man. They're pushing this heathenist mindset,
and then you're exposing kids in the middle of that, on top of that.
Right, and it's interesting because what they call it, so-called anti-separation bill.
Yeah,
anti-separation bill. So you see, I mean, just like you see in Rome, you see how they want. They want people to, they have that conquering mindset where if you're going to be in our country, you're going to follow our traditions. Yeah. We're going to build up our gyms in your areas, and you're going to dress down. You're going to be heathenistic like us.
Yeah.
So they're trying to assimilate.
She made a good point. They would never try to mess with the ooish.
Oh, heck no.
Hell no.
You already know.
They wouldn't try that with them.
Right. And it's just wild, man, because they're calling it anti-separatism. But hey, I bet you the Jewish folks in France got the Eruv and all that in Paris.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they got their own community over there, and they're not attacking their women.
They did the same thing too in Switzerland as well.
Oh man, Switzerland banned burqas being worn in public places in March after a referendum passed with a 51% majority. But you know, Switzerland is one of them countries too.
Yep.
Because when it comes to Switzerland, I mean, a lot of them have French influence, first off. And that's where they have Geneva.
Yep. Yeah, we did a show about that.
Right. They got, Switzerland is just as twisted as France, man. And it's interesting how...
Yeah, it's part of the feminist movement as well. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yep.
Yeah, that is wild. We go to hit this next one.
Yeah. Quebec, French province in Canada, is also trying to get rid of religious symbols, but they say the cross is okay.
Of course, they'll say that.
That's interesting. I mean, because it's interesting because Quebec, they're French. In their French language, they actually use religious terms to curse. You know what I mean? Like tabernacle in French is a curse word in Quebec.
Oh, well, I know that.
So they'll use, Quebec has a deep rooted Catholic tradition. But when it comes to, of
And
course,
you already know how wicked they past is.
Exactly. I mean, if so is France. France is also Catholic as well.
Yeah.
But then you see when it comes to any other religious groups that believe in modesty and all this, that, and the third, I mean, it's a problem. The fact that they're actually passing laws
Right.
in order to ban modesty.
And this man, some other countries going to follow. I mean,
you
it's not too far
know,
fetched
man.
that could happen here.
Yeah, man.
Because you have a very liberal democratic government,
And they're gonna view, and it's crazy because they preach, you know, a woman doing whatever she wants with her body, dressing how she wants. But then if a woman wants to wear a hijab, if a woman wants to wear a hijab, it's a problem. It's banned. A mother can't accompany her child to a trip, man, without showing off her hair.
Yeah, that's scary what they're doing.
Yeah.
And speaking of minors.
Yeah. The other end of the spectrum, interesting enough.
Arkansas lawmakers enact transgender youth treatment ban.
And you know this is going to get some heat.
Yeah.
The same way they're trying to boycott Georgia, they're going to come bum rushing Arkansas.
You remember like a few shows ago, you were talking about that dude was in that Senate hearing to be confirmed. And the Republican asked him, like, yo, like, you know, the Dr. Rachel was really a dude.
Yeah, whatever doctor.
Yeah, right. And then, and
the quack.
Right. And then asking about, are you going to let minors get treated, you know, like, you know, for the gender treatments, whatever, and they never gave an answer.
Yeah, they're literally just saying, basically, we'll talk about it off camera.
Right, basically, dodged it and still got confirmed.
Yeah.
But Arkansas lawmakers on Tuesday made the state the first to ban gender-confirming treatments and surgery for transgender youth, enacting the prohibition over the governor's suggestions. The Republican-controlled House and Senate voted to override GOP Governor Asa Hutchinson's veto of the measure, which prohibits doctors from providing gender-confirming hormone treatment, puberty blockers, or surgery to anyone under 18 years old, or referring them to other providers for the treatment.
And I mean, that's reasonable, because how is it you're able... An 18-year-old, you can't legally sign a contract under the age of 18. You have to have your parents' permission to bound yourself to anything legally when you're under 18. And yet, if you go to your parents and say, I want to become a girl, or a girl says I want to become a boy, they are actually in a lot of states, it's illegal for them to say no.
Yeah.
If they say no, then that's child abuse. They could take your kid away.
You know, the thing about it, here it said opponents of the measure have vowed to sue to block the ban for it takes effect this summer. And, you know, I had to give props to Arkansas for this one because it's for, emancipation of the minor.
Yeah.
I see Arkansas, they just trying to make a proactive move because they probably saw that same hearing and they see what's about to happen.
Right.
So they making the move. I guess they've been proactive about, like, yo, we're not going to allow that to our minors.
Right.
So I had to give them props on that one. Like I said, you know, we not Democratic or Republican, but right is right, wrong is wrong.
Right.
That's how we see things. Emancipation for their parents, man, that is crazy. Taxpayers should not pay for this. That too, on top of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's just wild how everything else they got to have.
And like I said, this is today. You know, y'all see this. This is today.
17 minutes ago.
You know, but it's sad that the state had to make a law to protect this thing from happening.
Yeah, because it goes to show. And it's interesting, these two articles, I mean, both aimed at minors, goes to show where they want the minors to be in society. Yeah. You know, because they want minors. If an 11-year-old is walking around in a bikini like they were in the Cuties films, they have no problems with that. You know, but that's what they want to push. Mm-hmm. But you see with the Epsteins and all this, you see why they like pushing that. And then now when
they go back in the history and their culture.
The Spartans.
Yeah, right. To the Greek culture.
The Centurions, you know.
Yeah, that's not new for them.
Right. And when you see what they're doing with the whole thing with the federal government, I'll say, with the whole thing with the transgenders, them having that be the one thing that a minor could sign off on, completely change their life. They will pay for this.
You don't even know yourself yet.
Right. A preview Besson
Yeah.
The monitor could be 10, and they will sign on. They'll be like, yes, we're going to get you through your hormones and all this, that, and the third. Can't sign off on anything else.
Right.
Goes to show what they want the society to be.
But people claim there's no agenda.
Oh, no, there's no agenda.
No, that is crazy as hell to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next thing we was going to cover, they're bringing back Sodom and Gomorrah in modern times. Yes. But you know,
seriously,
America, it's the daughter of Babylon.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, that we had to respect. You know, so I want to cover this voter suppression thing briefly. Update on the voter suppression thing in Georgia. Since our last show, we talked about it. Black Democrats been trying to put pressure on bigger companies here in Georgia.
Shalom Q.
Shalom. Glad you're here. Try to put pressure on Georgia, like for the bigger companies to speak out against this voter suppression law. So the Major League Baseball, they caved in.
We went over the law. It's not that bad.
Yeah. If y'all missed it, we did go over the actual law, and we didn't see anything that would prevent black people from voting.
Right.
But my thing is, I saw somebody said we just got past the governor election where they swear that Stacey Abrams got cheated. So you think these laws will be to her benefit to prevent a fraud for the next one?
Wouldn't you think? Hey, but you see where they ain't do nothing for Stacey Abrams. But when it came to Miss Bottoms, they wanted Miss Bottoms over in the White House. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
So Stacey Abrams could get screwed over. She pulled in all these votes.
Yeah.
She John Lewis'd it.
Yeah, she John Lewis. She registered all these people, black people, to vote.
But she ain't in the White House.
Yeah.
So
no job at all.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's basically interesting because they probably voting for mayor this year in November.
Word.
Yeah, that would be interesting. So the Major League Baseball League, they fell under pressure because the All-Star game was supposed to be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And so they pulled the game, moved it to Denver.
Yeah. This is the article.
Put up the article here. So the woke MLB moving All-Star game. This is for Fox News. The triggering headline there.
So yeah.
I see all these minors on the social networks as young as 9 and 10 questioning and labeling themselves all different versions of the gender spectrum. And I'm like, right, yeah.
Because that's what they push. And it's one of those things where, at that age, just think back to how moldable you were at that age.
But it's even scary now because, when I was 9 or 10, we didn't have social media. We went out there. So how many of these young kids are out there unsupervised, talking to who knows what? Because I remember seeing a documentary that it was like a group of people, right?
Yeah.
And so this woman, she made an Instagram account posing as a child. Like I think she posed at 14, 15 years old. And just had one picture up there. It wasn't even nothing provocative.
Right.
Like this, because she looked young. Right. So, they made it look like she was a young girl.
Yeah.
And as soon as she went live, her inbox her DMs started blowing up, like within minutes.
And they had a huge problem with that with TikTok.
Yeah. We covered that. Yeah, we covered that too.
Yeah, you have all these
we covered both of them.
Yeah. Hopping on and they're preying on these young kids.
Oh man.
So you don't know how many of them are from the alphabet folk. Yeah. You don't know whose impression in their mind. That's why, if social media is toxic for adults, why would you have your kids on there, man?
Yeah.
Because it's messing up their minds of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Cops because it's like the little time I do watch TV, I guess.
Yeah.
They be old episodes of Cops. They be old episodes, but apparently Cops got called to the house because the neighbors heard screaming from the young girl.
Yeah.
So they didn't know the young girl was in danger or what.
Right.
So of course they rushed over there and everything, knocking the door like, "Yo, what's going on?" It was a mother and her daughter.
Yeah.
Daughter's mixed. So mother's white.
Yeah.
The daddy black, but daddy wasn't there.
Right.
And she was telling the cops like, "Oh, she's just yelling because I took away her phone." Girl was like 10 years old.
You're kidding me.
And it's like, and so the cops was looking at the mom crazy. And the mom was like, "Well, she don't listen to me. She listens to her father.
Yeah.
And whatever." And then, so they look at the girl. So now the girl freaking out because you got these two uniform cops in your house now. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, so what's the deal? What's up with all the yelling? Because your neighbor's thinking something bad is happening to you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she took my phone because I was on social media too much. And I guess she just spazzed out that she was so loud that the neighbors got concerned and called because they thought she was in legit danger. But yeah, man, that's as well.
And some of them mention that they support Black Lives Matter. Yeah, the alphabet part, but not so much for black people.
Oh, we gonna get that.
Just to touch on that, just a little bit, just to dip a toe in the water. Every time you go on these white folk will have their social media, they'll say Black trans lives matter, because they don't mess with no black man. They don't mess with us.
Nah, not at all, man.
But when was the last time you saw a black trans person gunned down in the street?
Not much from what we've been saying.
I don't remember.
This is the most we follow news since we had the show, to be honest.
But you know why they push that black trans life?
Yeah. It's destruction of the black man.
Because and it's interesting because the whole Black Lives Matter is supposed to help us.
Yeah.
But then they push Black trans lives matter in order to villainize us because you see black men are attacking trans women.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's a whole nother agenda going on.
Right.
So yeah, man. So the woke MLB moving All-Star game from 51% Black Atlanta to 76% white Denver. Critics notes. And yes, G-Mon make a good point.
Yeah.
The Braves Stadium, this Braves Stadium is no longer in the city of Atlanta. They move out to Cobb County.
Really, which part?
Huh?
Which part of Cobb?
Oh, it's like in Marietta.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right.
I've got the exit there. I passed about horrible traffic. I hate going out there.
Yeah.
And we know in the city it used to be the Falcons and the Braves.
Right.
And the Braves was in the old Olympic Stadium from '96.
Right.
So, but since the Olympics, they just threw it up. It wasn't built to last.
Yeah.
So they need like $50 million in renovations. And so the Braves asking Atlanta, like, yo, y'all gonna pay for this, or
Yeah.
So the Atlanta was like, yo, we can own the floor to fix one of y'all, either the Falcons new stadium or baseball.
And you already know
They chose the football stadium.
Right, of course.
Because that came a lot more. It came with a championship soccer team
Yeah.
and the Super Bowl. They're trying to bring Vegas style boxing and other things there. So they moved the Braves out to Cobb County, which that deal was already made under the table because they moved way too quick.
Right.
So now they're out there outside of Atlanta.
And Cobb is happy.
Yeah, so that's the only thing about Fox News. Like we're gonna be honest about it. All right. Yeah, it's like this is kind of like misleading because I've been out there I've been to the New Braves Stadium before.
Yeah.
And there's no black businesses around there.
Right.
But like any major event, people do come to the city to party.
Exactly.
I give you that.
Right.
So so they said the game's relocation is expected to deliver a severe economic blow to Atlanta, where nearly 30% of businesses are black owned. Cap.
That's lies. Look. I don't know where Fox is pulling this from.
I don't know they pulling up. We're gonna be straight up with you. I know a lot of people think Atlanta is black Mecca. No. We don't run anything.
Yeah.
Like most of the black business owners, they're doing really well for themselves. A lot of them just self-employed. They're not like they employ a whole bunch of full-time employees.
Selfmade
Most of them are self-made millionaires.
And when it comes to Black Mecca, it's Black Boule Mecca.
Yeah. On top of that,
yeah.
So not really, not everything appealing is good for you as it seems. Yeah. So, but the reason we put out this article because they did bring out some interesting things. So so I am calling it out on the misleadingness, but there's some little truths we're getting here that we can point out.
Right.
And we thought they were interesting, and they say it here. Yeah. They say according to the 2019 U.S. Census, Atlanta is 51% black and 40% white. While Denver is 9.2% black and 76% white. This may be true, but the 40% white population owns Atlanta.
Yeah, that is true.
And we just the tokens.
And that's the thing. A lot of the money wouldn't come to the blacks at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the interesting thing about
we spending the money. We the greatest consumers.
Right. But the interesting thing about it is, the main thing is the laws, first off. And then why did they go all the way to Denver?
Yeah. So, right. So, Republican supporters say the law is needed to restore confidence in Georgia elections following the contentious 2020 presidential election and Georgia's two U.S. Senate runoff elections in January. Yeah, which I got so tired of that. Which the new law is cutting down the runoff from 9 weeks to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Which I'm down for because that lasted forever. I got tired of seeing these same people.
Man.
Yeah. But here's the slick part about this.
Mm-hmm.
This is
the main bread and butter.
Yeah, they saying the voter laws in Colorado is very similar to the new laws in Georgia.
To the ones that they're trying to get passed in Georgia.
Right. You know, yeah, which they did pass it again.
They did. Okay.
Yeah, the governor signed it. So so this article here, the next one up from Business Insider,
trying to oppose them.
Yeah, right. The laughable comparison between Colorado and voter requirements. So Business Insider, it was liberal. They taking the Democrat side in this.
Yeah.
All right. So and it was a reach because we kept going down. So I was like, okay, so what's the big deal?
I mean, they took some yoga before this because they did a little bit of reaching.
Oh man, and I get to go to the clear part.
You remember how the main thing or a big part of the whole thing with the Georgia suppression law was the ID part.
Yeah.
Because you had to have an ID, which I mean that makes sense. It makes voting more secure. You know what I mean? You could write a signature and be 5 different people.
Yeah.
You know, but a big thing was the ID. And so it's interesting because the main point they bring up is the idea.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Colorado voting law.
Yeah.
They really don't get too much into all the rest of it. They just talk about the idea. But
yeah, right here. Oh, sorry. It's about here that Colorado is an easy place to vote.
Right.
And then and they were saying.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm looking at.
Could you go up right fast?
Yeah.
Right underneath. Because it talks about Colorado being an easy place to vote, and then it says Georgia is not so easy, and it will now become more difficult. Man, the voting laws were not even that deep.
Yeah, yes. So here you go. What counts as ID in the Rocky Mountains is not the same in Georgia. According to the Colorado Secretary of State, acceptable forms of identification include not just those issued by the state or federal government, but those printed by colleges and universities. Don't have one of those either, not a problem. The state also accepts utility bills, bank statements, and paycheck stubs. All right, so they were saying...
Right.
So they trying to justify that Colorado is really not like Georgia because they accept forms of identity without requiring a photo ID, right? You know what? Last time I checked, you sign up for a job that pays a paycheck. You had to bring ID to sign up for a job and to prove you're a U.S. citizen.
So you already have
that's part of the application. So you had to have ID.
Right.
The bank statement. When you open up a bank account, ID.
Right.
To prove who you are. Utility bills, I'm not sure. I guess.
I mean, utility bills, but think about it.
You put anybody name.
To get an apartment, though. To get
Facts.
an apartment, to get a home.
Yeah, ID, right.
So why is it, what makes utility bills, bank statements, and pay stubs easier than just having your photo ID?
Yeah. So we go to the next one.
So let's actually see.
So this is Colorado Secretary of State website here on this next link here.
Acceptable forms of identification which we took from the Insider.
Yeah. So move this over there. There we go. So I can see a little bit more. Yeah. So acceptable forms of identification here. All right. The following documents. So of course they got the regular stuff like Colorado driver's license. Yeah, that's true. U.S. passport. Yeah. They said a valid employee identification card with a photograph. Mm-hmm. Or issued by any branch, department, agency of the U.S. government. So that's federal ID.
Right.
A valid pilot's license with the FAA. Mm-hmm. Also kind of like government.
Right.
A valid U.S. military identification card. Government.
That's a form of ID.
Here, they try to put out this one little line here to justify it. A copy of a current within the last 60 days, a utility bill, bank statement, government check, ID, paycheck, ID, a government document that shows the name, address of the letter. When you get anything from the government, you have to show ID.
You
know.
And so they're saying that this is making it easier because they
make it easier, guys.
More thing. They have one more thing that they use, but
I can bring my power bill.
Right. But here's the question: what's easier, going and saving your power bill and saying I'm gonna vote with my power bill, or just taking your ID out of your wallet and here?
Yeah.
So how is that any easier? But you see how they stretch.
But you see how they stretch how they word everything to trigger you
in order to make
the laughable comparison between Colorado and Georgia voting requirements.
Right.
Yeah, like it's the wording, but this is what they might ask you. This is what it is. They pull this one little line here.
Right.
We look for ourselves. What are they talking about?
It's easier to forge a utility bill than an ID, and that's the big part of it.
There you go.
That's what makes it so easy because it's easier to forge.
It's easy. You just download a logo, copy paste a utility bill. It's complete facts.
But you know why they want to make voting a lot easier.
Yeah, because they get those new votes that they need.
Exactly.
And we explained to you in the last show. if Joe Biden's bill, the HR1, I believe, goes through,
that
eliminates voter ID laws and automatically opt you into voting, which means all the people at the border right now that will become citizens will automatically be voters, registered to vote.
Oh, for real.
That is guaranteed votes because, of course, they're going to vote for Joe because Joe the one that brought them in here.
Yeah.
So it's one grand scheme here that we're seeing here, all right? So, yeah, we will show you that. I guess going to the next link here.
And here we go again. This is from, it's from today.
Yeah.
Asian hate crime, building staffers fired for not helping NYC victim.
Yeah, this happened today. Or at least that we saw the article today.
From today.
Yeah. For the building workers who stood idly by in the lobby of an Asian woman, see, I can see it, idly by in the lobby as an Asian woman was brutally attacked on the sidewalk or out of a job, they've been fired. The Brodsky organization was managing the building in question in New York City tells us the doormen were canned for not following emergency and safety protocols. In other words, doing nothing while the beatdown carried out right in front of them. As we reported, surveillance video captured the violence in Midtown Manhattan, where a 65-year-old woman who was on her way to church last month was viciously beaten by a complete stranger, who cops say is 38-year-old Brandon Elliott.
Now let's look at Brandon Elliott.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, here's the illegals. Who illegals get punished for not voting for Biden? That would be funny. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's guaranteeing they vote.
So let's go. Let's actually go back and look at the big old dude. Now, first off, why the heck is this man casually strolling
just randomly
and then just beats on an Asian woman? And they've been saying that the Asian hate is due to the COVID-19. If this man's so afraid of COVID, where's his mask?
Yeah, he's not scared at all. He's chilling.
Right.
Walking down the street, man. Here's the footage of this, though.
Yeah.
Good old Timothy, they get everything.
It's messy.
Oh, sorry, y'all. Let's get a little brutal for a second here. Yeah, it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I guess this is like the door people. The doorman. That was just so random, and then just walked off.
Out of nowhere. He didn't seem provoked.
Yeah. So this is the actual incident that happened.
And why is it always the black folk?
Yeah.
That are showing attacking Asians?
Now, if it wasn't staged, that was horrible what happened.
Yeah, of course.
But that just.
But we know
something smelled funny about this.
Yeah, we know what lengths people will go to fulfill an agenda.
Yeah, and
have us be the face of it.
This is my thing here. And you get with this article, they were saying how they got fired here.
Right.
Yeah, for not following the emergency and safety protocols here.
Yeah. He got one of them invisible masks. One of those imaginary ones. He got it from his imaginary friend.
Yo, I worked a variety of jobs in my life, man. And I never had a job that tell you to interfere in some violence going on. If anything, they tell you to avoid it. And assault at that. Like, yo, you can still... do you remember the episode of Atlanta when they had the no run policy in the mall?
Yeah.
And the dude went in and got him parachutes and he walked out.
Yeah.
Because he knew they cannot chase him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and that's their policy for shoes. They definitely ain't worry about no person. Like, they just tell you, they tell you not to engage. Actually, you ain't getting fired for engaging in somebody stealing.
Right.
So of course, I want to see what's in their emergency and safety protocols that tell them they have to help somebody in need.
And how would they help them?
Because I'm pretty sure, because that's a liability for the company.
Exactly.
So yeah, so they made that up, man. I ain't buying that. That's why I feel like something about this smells funny here.
Man, the whole, because now it's a hashtag now. Hashtag stop Asian hate.
Yeah, on top of that, man, Jeezy and his wife doing it now.
Man, yeah, Jeezy. Man, boy, and the crazy thing about it, the C thing's been going on for over a year.
Yeah.
Why is it out of nowhere? I don't know what bug done came and bit.
Asians.
Yeah. You know what I mean? A bug just came and bit niggas and we want to go and attack Asians.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, and the virus has been going on for a year?
Yeah. Why are the older women shopping going out by themselves? Don't they normally go with a squad of people? If they want to go out by themselves, why are they shopping with their own community? Facts, because usually they are shopping, like especially here in Atlanta, they shop within their own community. I really don't see them out and about like that.
I mean, because think about it, in New York they have Chinatown,
Yeah.
You know, so which part of New York even was this?
Yeah, they didn't even. It is downtown Manhattan. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So to me, yeah, she was on her way to church. Yeah, that smelled kind of funny to me, man.
Yeah, and why is she going to church in downtown Manhattan?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've been up there, but I can't say I'm totally familiar with New York. I've been up there a couple of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just
anybody from New York, we would like to, if you guys know the area, tell us where's the nearest church around there. You know,
that Asian will go to. On top of that,
right? Exactly.
Well, here in Atlanta, they have their own Asian churches.
Yeah,
you know, they speak their own native tongue.
Yeah, they got the Asian churches with the Korean on it.
They have the Korean churches, you got the Vietnamese churches,
exactly.
Chinese church. They all had their own churches they go to.
So please, if you guys could let us know which Oriental churches are in downtown Manhattan.
We're the ones we want to be integrated so bad.
Right.
You know, and they normally don't do that. Yeah. Next up, man, I thought this was interesting. I don't know. Have any?
Very interesting. I mean, Event 201. You know, it sounds like a rave, but it's far from.
You do kind of like a low key disco ball right here.
Right. Exactly.
So they did this. Also on Instagram, they got some Asian fetishism on women. I'm like, y'all had that in your anime perversion. Their cartoons on YouTube. You're right. They did it themselves.
Man, where'd they come? They're just pulling that out of thin air, man. Stop Asian fetish.
They do their own hentai, right?
Right. Come on, man. What is...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot how I came across this. I think it was on a Twitter feed or something. Somebody mentioned it in a different conversation. I got curious because I didn't know what they were talking about. So I researched myself and came across this. And this thing called Event 201.
First off, let's look at the date of this.
Yeah, the date of this event, this happened. Here you go.
It is Friday, October 18th of 2019.
Months before the pandemic.
Yeah, so this is Event 201 from 2019, and let's see what it's about.
All right. Event 201 was a 3.5 hour pandemic tabletop exercise that simulated a series of dramatic, scenario-based, facilitated discussions confronting difficult, true-to-life dilemmas associated with response to hypothetical but scientifically plausible pandemic. That was a lot. 15 global business, government, and public health leaders were players in the simulation exercise that highlighted unresolved real-world policy and economic issues that could be solved with sufficient political will, financial investment, and attention now and in the future. Exercise consists of pre-recorded news broadcasts, live staff briefings, and moderated discussions on specific topics.
What were those topics?
These issues were carefully designed in a compelling narrative that educated the participants and the audience. The Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, the World Economic Forum,
and who else?
And
Bill and Melinda.
We want to say the last name. We got pulled for that. Foundation jointly proposed these recommendations.
Jointly. Ain't that something? That's interesting, ain't
and it's funny how they the face of these things now. So they had a whole...
One Nation, Agenda 201.
Yeah. I just...
Wow.
I think we saw a video or something about it, and I just forgot.
So you see how, I mean, this was actually around this time, wasn't it kind of bubbling around China? Was it even bubbling around China?
Oh yeah, because allegedly they said it can go back as far as like November. November,
yeah.
That's around that time.
That was a little before when it was just this.
We about to release this thing, so let's do an exercise real quick. This is the game plan, how we're going to execute, and this is what's going to go down.
And then when it covered the whole entire world, oh my goodness, we are so shocked.
This is a global pandemic?
Wow, we're not prepared for this at all. Oh man, these jokers, you see how they play with us?
Yeah, wickedness played the long game, man.
Of course, man, they playing ahead, boy.
Yeah, we just want to show you that real quick. We had nothing too deep for that one. We just thought that was interesting. This was interesting. Yeah, it had been an outbreak of African swine fever.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, we're gonna see why it's interesting.
Yeah, and this was last modified just about less than a month ago, March 18th.
And this is actually from the USDA, so it's really recent. And one thing I want to bring up actually was you remember how the CDC at first when the whole C thing was going down, they made it they made it seem like, oh, you don't need your mask. You know, matter of fact, I mean, what's the point of wearing a mask?
They changed it so many times. I mean, at one point, like if it's not an N95 mask, then it doesn't help at all. You're just wasting your time and wearing a mask. And then it's like, no, wear the mask, it's fine. And then at one point, they even said double your mask. Yeah. And then people couldn't breathe and they're passing out, and then they went back to one mask.
So they keep changing depending on where the society is in order to keep people calm. Because that's the main thing, is they want to keep people calm.
And then just recently they went from 6 feet. Yeah. And I did here in Georgia, they're about to go down to 3 feet.
Boy, they about to go down to 3 inches.
So I could just slap, like, oh, it'd be okay now.
That's but C-thing was so contagious.
I get it.
So I just want to put that out so that when you see what the USDA is saying, you got to see what kind of game they play.
Yeah, man. It's all games. So, I was just going to read this top paragraph here. African swine fever is a highly contagious and deadly viral disease affecting both domestic and feral swine of all ages. ASF is not a threat. This was interesting to me. ASF is not a threat to human health and cannot be transmitted from pigs to humans. It is not a food safety issue.
But what
did it says highly contagious and deadly viral disease. Right. But it's not a food safety issue.
Right.
I was a little bit confused.
It's just amongst pigs. It's fine.
You can eat the bacon anyway.
Right.
You can't get it.
And the thing about it is, if it's just for the pigs, then why is the USDA putting it up on their website? Are they putting it up? I mean, are they just trying to keep us aware? I mean, if it's not important, are they thinking the pigs are gonna come read this?
Right. This is why it gets me. So they want to put a stop on pork, which we shouldn't be eating that crap anyway.
Right.
We would commend.
Yeah, it's swine fever. So I'm not sure what the difference is between the swine fever and the swine flu.
That's a good question.
Because the swine flu was horrible. It wasn't the swine flu was a virus as well.
Yeah.
But the swine fever is fine though.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Interesting.
Good. So so check out this next article here. All right. Look at this.
Yeah.
All right. China reports African swine fever outbreak. Xinjiang farm holding 599 pigs.
I think it's Xinjiang.
Yeah, close enough, right?
Yeah. 599 pigs. So let's see the freaking process they go through.
Yeah, so this photograph is taken in 2019. It showed health officials spraying disinfectant on a dead pig at a farm before burying it in an isolated quarantine pit to stop the spread of the African swine fever.
But it's not no threat to anybody. They just want the pigs to be okay.
Yeah, right. Right. You can't say it's a China bee, but it's okay to call it the African fever.
Ain't that so?
Yeah, right. But, I mean, that's a good point.
You already know how the world
plays. Shanghai, thank you.
Shanghai. Now you already know how. Nation, you are on it with the pronunciation. Thank you.
I know, right, for real.
But you already see how the world, right? But you already see how the world plays around with Africa.
Yeah.
But boy, you better not say China.
Yeah. So they going through all that to get rid of the body, bro.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, and there's another picture here. Look what they're doing here. Millions of pigs have been culled as African swine fever cuts through China and beyond, devastating global food chains, with pork prices expected to soar from the wet markets of Hong Kong to the American dinner tables. So it does affect us because, like, especially a lot of us, like shopping at Walmart.
Yeah.
Like you see that big bag of fish, and you're like, "Why is it only $10 compared to this wild caught salmon?"
Yeah.
Well, that big bag is said product of China, so you're getting your fish from there. You're probably getting your swine from there. So this is going on over there in China, and they still shipping this stuff over here,
as well as a good dose of mercury.
Right, because they're claiming that it's not a food health risk.
And it's interesting. I mean, I'm pretty sure their reasoning is, we don't want any more pigs to get sick. We don't want any more pigs to get sick.
I don't see any pork recalls.
Exactly.
But they want to die eating that stuff anyway.
Right.
Like we shouldn't be eating that crap. We're not supposed to be eating pork. We're not be eating shellfish. Yeah, I'll watch my favorite one of my favorite food shows on YouTube. Like I said, I watch him because he eat all the unclean food I would never eat.
Right.
And it amazes me. And he based out of Vietnam, and so he always in around Asia. And they eat anything they catch out the water.
Boy.
And so it's amazing how Yahweh made these. Like, even you didn't have the Bible at your hands, right?
Yeah.
He made these animals so fat, like you covered them in spikes. You know, he
like
gave, you're right. You put hard shells on, like, hint, don't eat me. You know what I mean? And they cut off the spikes. They crack over their hard shell. They eat the unclean food. Like, he gave us like natural hints. This is not what we're supposed to be eating, and they eat it anyway.
Cause look at the crabs. Look at
the sea urchins is a real good example.
Yeah, the lobsters, the clams,
the mussels. So they clean the water.
Right.
The shrimp, the cockroaches of the sea. Like you wonder why the ocean's so dirty, but we eating everything that cleans it.
And you notice there's a whole process that goes into eating it.
Yeah,
you gotta bust it up and
you don't work for that little bitty food.
I'm talking,
just kill a chicken and be done with it.
Man, I'm telling you, they
eat jellyfish too.
Yeah,
which is crazy because it's just jellyfish.
And I mean, you'll see folks with the crab legs. They gotta pull out a freaking handy manny construction set for you to bust apart the crab. You get this little tiny You get this little tiny piece of meat.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
You got the screwdriver, the hammer, the jackhammer.
I'm trying to eat. I ain't trying to work for it like that, bro.
Boy, they're trying to make it by the sweat of your brow, boy.
Oh man, so we cover that. Now the good stuff.
To the meat. Potatoes now.
Yeah, we covered this in this last week. We were talking about Tamika Mowry and this Cadillac commercial.
Yeah.
And so we can go here. I go down here. No, I don't want to stay in the loop of your website, Black Enterprise. I don't think I like it like that. Yeah. So Mallory called for justice during her recent appearance at the Grammys, where she shared a powerful message during that little baby performance of his song "The Bigger Picture." It's a state of emergency. It's been a hell of a year. Hell for over 400 years, she said on stage, and noted by HuffPost.
Notice they keep using that 400 years.
Yeah. Man, come on now. My people, it's time we stand. It's time we demand the freedom that this land promises.
And that's why she was in the Cadillac.
Right. Shortly after her Grammy debut, Mallory was seen in the Cadillac commercial as part of the Audacity of Blackness campaign, where the activists only appeared to be expanding her portfolio to some, meaning others called out her for allegedly selling out and chasing fame.
Now what she was doing, she was going to get in the Cadillac and drive to the promised land. And then she was going to tell us about it.
As a result of her Grammy performance, Mallory was called out by Samaria Rice, the mother of Tamir Rice. Look at this clout chaser, Rice said in a Facebook post captured by Insider. Did she lose something in this fight? I don't think so. That's the problem. They take us for a joke. That's why we never have justice because of the ish like this. Rice then teamed up with Lisa Simpson, the mother of Richard Richner, and released a joint statement where they accused Mallory and other activists of using the Black Lives Matter movement for their own personal gain by bringing no real justice to police killing of the slain children.
And actually, they go a step further and actually oppose the people they're supposed to be fighting for.
Yeah. So I guess it's how do you pronounce this rapper? My Son?
My Son? Yeah, I think My Son.
Okay,
yeah.
Rapper My Son took to social media to defend his podcast co-host. I guess they had a podcast together. I didn't know.
Yeah.
White supremacy is a structure controlled by billionaires who control it to keep it going. Watson tweeted, "You can't dismantle it with poor people whose hobby is to fight it. Activism is work. Lifetime working activists have to pay bills. Sorry."
Here's what's interesting. You guys are fighting against white supremacy, but I mean, the whole system wasn't it the summer? Black Lives Matter?
Mm-hmm.
Target was talking about Black Lives Matter.
Amazon, Spotify.
I mean, white supremacy has got y'all backs, and then on top of it, y'all got George Soros.
Yeah, they are allies to white supremacy.
Man,
and don't forget that Mallory came up under Al Sharpton.
Exactly.
I keep telling people, bro. All the Dr. King's friends that survived the era sold out. Mm-hmm. The ones that didn't sell out, they were murdered.
Exactly.
They dead. You know, I'm talking about Al Sharpton, sold out. Mm-hmm. John Lewis, sold out.
Right.
But let's go on.
And we can't even just say Martin Luther King. I mean, of course, those ones are the most prominent.
Yeah,
but even the members of the Black Panthers that you got coming in documentaries and making appearances on all these different platforms.
Right.
If they are really revolutionaries to the point where they're dangerous to the system, why are they still here?
If they're real threat, they'd be dead.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
They're not gonna. You're not gonna have somebody like. Why isn't Louis Farrakhan in the Cadillac commercial?
Right.
Where's his Cadillac commercial?
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So yeah, man, and we get into some more money.
Yeah.
Yep, die poor. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Or they destroy their lives.
And don't get me wrong. You know, we want people to get paid. Like for us, we are grinding our butts off with this show to hope we get to the point where we get paid to help our own people.
But that's the thing. We're not having white supremacy come pay us.
Right. We don't want
Cadillac coming to pay us.
Because their money comes with influence.
They're gonna gonna come to you. Think about it. Ads. You know what I mean? The way a program works. If you're watching a TV show and you see certain ads on that TV show, oftentimes the ads will go to those people and be like, hey, I don't like this, this, and this. So if you want my ad on your network, you got to change these things.
Mm-hmm. Gotta be sellable. I mean, that's why YouTube, Google doing right now, and everything is about selling ads, and they don't want the real pro-black truth. They don't want the B1 truth about that. They don't want nothing to be B1, basically.
And this is just a known industry fact. Yeah. The ads, the people who run the ads are going to influence the programming that's being put on the platforms they put their ads.
Right.
So if they're putting out an ad for Cadillac, or the Grammys are doing something, and
we already know they're all part of the establishment.
Right, and this quote unquote activist is up on these platforms talking about black justice.
Yeah.
Why would they support somebody who's opposed to the system?
You can't, like I did with Umar Johnson that said, you can't empower the people. Yeah, you can't empower the people you try to oppress.
Exactly.
And it makes total sense here.
Yeah.
More money here. We got more money to show you. Social justice activist Tarana Burke, and that really kind of inspired the show because this happened today. You see here, this article posted 2 hours ago. Tarana Burke lands CBS Studios production deal.
I mean, she's so dangerous. She's about to shake up the establishment so much that CBS had to have a show with her.
Man, Tarana J. Burke, prominent social justice activist and founder of the Me Too movement, and her producing partner Mervyn Marcano, have entered into an overall production deal with CBS Studios to develop scripted, unscripted, and documentaries for TV networks and streaming services. The scripted shows, well, they are doing like sitcoms or something, or a drama series?
I don't know what the heck they're gonna have.
CBS Studios said Tuesday it will partner with Burke and Marcano's Field House Productions with a goal of telling the stories of people who have long been underrepresented, creating space.
You already know.
Yeah, you already know. And you notice like CBS will be the main one, and of course most other networks too. They've been actually trying to put black women front and center, the strong black woman narrative.
Right.
And like, with the Equalizer, Queen Latifah, the Star Trek, you got a black woman captain.
Yeah.
Like, but you really don't see a black family of any sort.
And oftentimes the black woman with the black women, their love interest is a white dude.
Yeah. And they give Chandra Rhimes really good.
So it's really interesting how they push empowerment for black women. In order to have that separation between the woman and the man.
Right, they had to be weaponized against us to do it.
Right, exactly. While they pair up those strong black women with a white man.
Right, yep. Yeah, and a lot of us don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not to say like, I mean,
no, it's like you had no problem with black women being represented in the positive light. We want that.
Or heck,
but they doing it at a price to get rid of us though.
Or heck, even if a black chick wants to run to a white dude, hey, that's not our business at the end of the day. But we're saying this is the programming they're gonna push.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Whatever you see repeatedly is what they want. They're trying to push to you how they want the society to be shaped.
I just told the guy today, man, like, yo, next time, just go home and start watching these commercials. I'm telling you, it's a lot more sorority couples now, and most of the cases, it'll be a black woman and a white man.
Exactly.
In most cases.
Or a white woman love interest.
Yeah. Depending on the show.
Yep. Depending on the show. Yep.
Creating space for new narratives has always been, for new narratives. Always been an integral part of cultural change work. Burke said in a statement distributed by CBS. So this is a PR release by CBS.
Right.
Field House is a platform for those new narratives. The partnership gives us the reach and scale to ensure that we build new audiences for new voices. You already know. The financial terms of the production deal were not announced. I'm pretty sure it's in the millions.
Yeah.
Although the arrangement includes a commitment to Field House production to develop programming for the CBS television network, as well as the ability to sell shows to third parties. So they'd be creating shows to sell to other people.
Yeah.
Probably like other services, like Hulu, Disney Plus, who knows?
Yeah, because they said it was going to be on streaming platforms as well.
Yeah, so that probably was all about, man. Yeah, so they making money off the deaths of black men, man. And mind you, let's not forget what happened last year, because the Me Too movement was hot, and then but as soon as Joe Biden became the front runner, it shut down.
Man, I mean,
they got quiet.
They packed it up and said, we are taking this elsewhere. They had the compilation of Biden.
Funny. It's like, I may eat chicken wings, but I love my black men. We appreciate it. we
appreciate you, G-Mo.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I mean, they packed it up as soon as the compilation of Joe Biden sniffing them little girls came out.
Yeah, they shut down completely. And I remember her. She put out a statement saying, like, in so many words, she's saying the greater good is to give. Like at first, she's saying believe every woman.
Yeah.
Then when Joe started getting these accusations, they shut everything down. And then she said the greater good is to get Trump out of office.
And that's something.
And Me Too got completely quiet when Joe came front runner.
And you remember that story about that lady that Joe it was in the White House and he had she talked about how Joe had grabbed her and
yeah I remember and I forgot her name, but yeah, and
all this and the third and then when she refused him. He kept forcing himself on her, and then he just told her she was nothing, and just horrible stuff.
And then news cycle was gone. Like,
bro, it was barely a news cycle.
Yeah.
And she ain't pick up on it. So if she's really about, but you see the hypocrisy in it. If she's really about what she's about, then why does it change when the greater political good? Man, that's how you know they're playing the game. That's how you know they don't really have these morals. Because your morals, your principle is supposed to stand above all of this.
They're allies with white supremacy.
Exactly.
All allies.
Precisely.
Oh, and yeah, then I came across this. And this is a little bit older, this from last year, but still, we thought it was valid. CBS, once again, television studios, and the NAACP strike deal to develop programming.
Ain't that something?
CBS and NAACP have entered into a multi-year agreement to develop and produce scripted and unscripted. Again, scripted. This is
same thing.
This is interesting. I wonder what the script is going to be about. Programming in addition to documentary content. Executives from the two parties announced in a joint statement.
You know it's going to be about their intersectionality.
Okay, you already know who owned the NAACP.
Exactly. Let's see if they have any TV shows with a nice, healthy black family.
Man.
Let's see if we're gonna see any of that.
Yeah, let you know, man. The money is rolling in. You know, we won't get into detail. I just want to show you the headline here. Oh yeah. This Black Lives Matter co-founder describes herself as a trained Marxist.
Now, if you guys don't know the history of Marxism, Karl Marx was a Jewish fellow. Mm-hmm. And that whole movement it basically destabilized Russia.
Yeah,
and it was basically arose. The whole communist Marxist movement arose in order to destabilize entire governments.
Yeah, and they were trained by that.
Exactly.
So and it's her and her partner Alicia was trained using these tactics. Because she said right here in the quote, because she promoted her book.
Ain't that something?
Yeah. Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. They know what they're doing. We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on this stuff.
They're versed.
You know what I mean? So this is showing the mindset is that.
I actually want to read that paragraph.
Oh, go ahead.
We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on sort of ideological theories. And I think that we are really tried to do. I think what we really try to do is build a movement that can be utilized by many, many black folk. Cooler has added the interview with Jared Ball to the Real News Network. So, how is a trained Marxist supposed to help the black community?
So it was all about from the get-go.
Right. And who trained them? But you know how closely they're working with George Soros, and later on we're gonna get into how that training played out.
Yeah. We will.
So keep
going.
Let's actually what was the young lady's name? What was her name?
Damn. Let's forget our name that quickly.
Let's just call it trained Marxists.
Right.
And then we'll get into it a little later.
Yeah, we got him here. This is the official Black Lives Matter website. They changed it since last I've been on here a while back.
Before it was wild. They were talking about having folks in these camps, these communes, and all that. But
yeah, here at the top, cause, in bold letters here, they said Black Lives Matter was founded in 2013 in response to the acquittal of Trayvon Martin's murder. Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, Inc. is a global organization in the U.S., U.K., and Canada whose mission is to eradicate white supremacy and build local power to intervene in violence inflicted on Black communities by the state and vigilantes. By commanding and countering acts of violence, creating space for Black imagination and innovation, and considering Black joy, we are winning immediate improvement in our lives. Like, okay, this is what's in bold.
Right.
But we'll go to down here, the smaller text here.
Mm-hmm.
We affirm the lives of Black, queer, and trans folks, disabled folks, undocumented folks.
Right. Undocumented folks.
What you got to do with us? Folks.
I mean, are they helping the Haitians?
No.
I don't see them helping the Haitians.
Not at all.
Interesting.
Yeah. Folks with records, women, and all. Yeah, folks with records, women, and all Black lives along the gender spectrum. They did not want to say men at all.
At all.
Our network centered those who have been marginalized within the Black liberation movement.
So that sentence is so
telling.
Yeah, let's actually go back to that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Our network centers around those who have been marginalized within the Black liberation movement. So they are criticizing the movement of Black liberation because they feel like Black men were marginalizing them.
Yeah.
Putting them on the sidelines.
And
that's why they push these different hashtags that are, I mean, they're anti-Black men at the end of the day.
Those are when we were talking about the names.
Yeah.
God knows her name.
Yeah, Lisa Garza, Patrice Cullors. Yeah, Patrice Cullors. She's the one that said that in the interview, I believe, and Opal Tometi.
Yep. All right, keep going.
And weren't a couple of those women or connected to
Yes, actually they were Ooish.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to say it's Alicia. Yeah, one of them Ooish, and then one of them not FBA. Two of them are gay.
Yeah,
I know for sure. But yeah, Ooish run through there.
Hey, that's
run through the blood here.
I mean, heck, Ooish run them.
Yeah, they do run it. Yeah, I totally forgot. Black Lives Matter co-founders named to Time annual Time 100 list of 100 most influential people in the world. This was this last year. So you connected, you mainstream. We connected to Time magazine, man.
Now, how? Let me see. BLM is anti-Black men. Full stop.
Yeah. And they did scrub their site. They did.
Yeah.
I mean, they still kind of like all fear, but yeah, the previous About Us page, yeah, I wish I still had that.
Man, like the screenshot, because I remember I went on the website like back in 2014, man.
Yeah.
Like and I remember reading it. I was like, what kind of monkey mess is on this?
Yeah. And
that's for them to be on the Time top 100, most influential.
Yeah, you definitely getting that white money, man.
Man, I mean, not only that white money, they're getting that white respect. The same way that JFK went to MLK in order to put him up as the face of the Black liberation movement, of the Civil Rights movement. Let's say that. Mm-hmm. The same way that JFK put MLK as the face of the Civil Rights movement and said, "You see this? This is how you do it." Mm-hmm. Yep. And then he got all this props and all this, that, and the third, and the white world loved him. That's what they're doing with these three women.
Yep, they sure are.
Yeah.
And we did an episode, it's a classic episode. We break all that stuff down. We brought down the meeting between, go way back machine. You should be able to see it. Oh, go to Wayback Machine. Okay.
Yes, you want to try it?
Yeah, hold on here.
All right, y'all, give us a few minutes.
A few seconds here. Yeah.
Wayback Machine.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. I didn't know about this.
Let's take it back to about
and it says the Black Lives Matter website, right?
Yeah, LivesMatter.com.
So if it pops up, man, that'd be dope.
And I'll take it back to about, 2014?
Something go wrong, our team is notified. Oh, we sure would it. We type in the Black Lives Matter website. Yeah. But I don't know, because it could be our VPN.
I mean, bring me back. Yeah, you want to try it without the VPN?
Yeah, but I don't want to break our connection.
Oh, yeah, you got a point, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to try that.
Yeah. Maybe y'all will, next show, we can show it? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. The financial report show how much money they raking in. And this is this year. I think we talked about it briefly when it happened. This is back in February here. But yeah, the Black Lives Matter movement brought in $90 million.
90 million.
Yep, there you go. Argentina, the driving force behind the driving force behind the Black Lives Matter.
Supporter of former President Trump, also a Fox Business
contributor. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, good to
take this out so that people won't have to hear about this.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, all right. Yeah, sorry about that. Argentina, the driving force behind the Black Lives Matter movement, took in just over $90 million last year, according to a financial snapshot obtained by AP.
And that's $90 million on the books.
That's on the books, right?
Where's that $90 million going?
Yeah.
How are they incorporating it back into the black community? Where's that money from the Cadillac commercial going?
That's all Tamika's pocket. Ain't probably got a free Cadillac.
Right. Boy, she probably got two.
Yeah, to go with it. Yeah, the foundation told AP they committed $21.7 million in grant funding to official and unofficial BLM chapters, as well as 30 Black-led local organizations. The Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation ended in 2020 with a balance of more than $60 million, and reportedly spending nearly a quarter of its assets on the grant funds and other charitable giving.
I would love to learn more about those charities.
The BLM Foundation individual donations for the main platform reported average $30.76, with more than 10% of donations being recurring. However, AP noted that the foundation's report does not state where the money went in 2020, and the BLM leaders declined to name permanent donors. Could be our know.
And it's interesting because they talked about their charities and all that. But,
yeah,
I mean,
we don't know who. Last year, the foundation expenses were approximately $8.4 million, including staffing, operating, and administrative costs, along with activities such as civic engagement, rapid response, and crisis intervention. So they're spending money.
And crisis intervention is more likely those protests that they do.
Yeah, they be staging and causing ruckus.
Right.
Yeah,
having buses and shipping them across the country.
We get into your territory here, man.
Yeah, man. So meet Darren Seals. Then tell me Black Death is not a business. So, interesting thing, Darren Seals was one of the main voices of Black Lives Matter back when it actually had its roots in Ferguson before it was hijacked.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, I actually, before I actually was having an idea where I wanted to kind of make a mini, like series about it, you know what I mean, or a video or some of that sort. So I had some sources saved from YouTube. I had one video of Darren Seals' interview with this other brother where he actually describes what happened during the Black Lives Matter protest. But I checked my playlist to see where it was saved. It was taken down. It was two videos actually saved, both taken down. And the interesting thing, when they talked earlier about them being trained Marxist, and being trained, and you know that a big part of Marxism is destabilizing whatever government or movements and hijacking it in order to push your this Marxist agenda. And the Marxist agenda is anti-religion. It's anti social norms. They break down. If you go and look in communist countries like China. Russia. China, Russia. In Russia, when North Korea,
they're really good for that.
Yeah, in North Korea, they took down their culture and placed the leadership as the deity in North Korea. Same thing in Russia. They took down the czars, and they made atheism the law of the land. If they demolished the churches, they outlawed religion. I believe it was the Eastern Orthodoxy that was the main thing that they were into, and that was illegal. It was illegal to have I mean, anything dealing with religion was illegal over in Russia. Same thing with China. They follow Confucianism, Taoism, all these different traditional things. And then Mao Zedong came in with his Great Leap Forward and all this, that, and the third, and broke down those cultural values and then implemented this communism, which of course we know came from the Marxism. Mm-hmm. So you see this pattern of them taking tradition, taking religion, attacking all these structures, and then implementing their own disorganization upon the landscape. So you're able to see that this is what a trained Marxist does. So for them calling themselves trained Marxists, where is that going to translate into the black community? And you're going to see when
they did that. They said they destabilized with the protests last summer.
Exactly.
And then we see with the new president and the new agenda, everything's so liberal and far left.
Yeah.
To the point Arkansas just had to pass a law to protect the kids there.
Right.
So.
And you see they're attacking the black man, mm-hmm. which is the cornerstone of the black community. We start messing up, and the black community is falling apart. Yeah. That's a big part of the black community's problem is black men are a mess. So they're attacking us even further, kicking us when we're down. Now, Darren Seals, he talked about when he was going to those protests. You know, I mean, this was a big thing. Mm-hmm. Darren Seals, I mean, all the brothers over in Ferguson, because, you know, they had a lot of gang problems. They, you know, the Bloods and Crips over there is a serious problem. All these gangs made truces. They came together in order to march, in order to fight for Michael Brown. And it was peaceful protests. They were going out. They were productive. It was a lot of young black men who were leading these movements. And Darren Seals said, out of nowhere, he started seeing... Like, because at first it was a bunch of everybody, you know, knew each other. You know, it was dudes that they were able to see him. You know, they know this is a Ferguson, a dude from Ferguson. They know it's a dude from St. Louis.
You know, the community.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden they started seeing, you know, people with flaming colored hair and, you know, tight pants.
They're taking over the city.
Yeah. All of a sudden they started seeing these LGBT people coming out of the woodworks, and they're like, who are these people? We don't know these people.
Yeah.
And they started coming in droves. A lot of them. And then they had, who's old boy that always got the vest on? D-Ray.
Okay.
D-Ray.
Yeah, that comedian.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's a comedian. The dude from Baltimore. The dude that always has a vest on, the Black Lives Matter dude. I think his name is D-Ray.
Yeah. I was just thinking, because actually he was kind of like the face of it for a minute, the gay guy. Yeah. And he worked directly under Soros.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know you're talking about now.
And it's interesting because D-Ray tried to make himself seem like he was integrated within the St. Louis, the Ferguson community.
He was sent down there.
And then it was found out later on that he was from Baltimore. Mm-hmm. But he tried to make it seem like he was a part of this community. And so they said how slowly all these LGBT people came down in droves and took over the movement. That's when it started becoming violent. Mm-hmm. That's when you started having the Ferguson riots. Because the brothers were peaceful at first. Then
that's their own communities.
Exactly. That's their own communities. But then they sent all these LGBT folk, and then they started tearing stuff up. And it's interesting because Darren described how, you know, they would be doing their protest, and then a bunch of random what are white college kids doing in Ferguson? A bunch of white college kids would just come out of nowhere with bricks and just start chuck a brick at the police. And then things would go down.
Like they did last summer.
Yes, exactly. And you see how that pattern comes back up.
Same playbook.
Exactly. So Darren Seals said how this kept happening. And then over time, they destabilized the movement, took it over. And now you got these three women saying that they're the ones that are leading the movement. They're the ones that headed the movement. They're the ones that were the foundation of the movement. Trained Marxists, And it's funny that they put themselves out there like that.
Yeah.
Trained Marxists, they came, they destabilized. Now they
took over.
Now they profit off the blood of black men and black women.
And that's something, bro. And we don't see it.
Wicked, man. And it's interesting because there were 7 young brothers that were the main ones who were the heads of the actual Black Lives Matter movement, the actual movement going on in Ferguson. All 7 of them brothers, including Darren Seals, are dead. All of them. Let's actually scroll down and see all of their names. There has been suspected deaths of activists Basim Mesri, DeAndre Joshua, Dwayne Jones, Edward Crawford Jr., Amber Evans, and Marshawn McCarroll. All of them are dead.
They call control opposition. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they destabilize things. But you see, all 7 of these brothers are dead. And a couple of them died in very weird circumstances. I believe one of them was a car was set on fire.
Yep, because the car was torched.
Right. So why were they murdered? That is an example of actual movement. That is an example of people who were actually a threat.
You said that, a threat they killed off.
Exactly. That's the real Black Lives Matter. I don't know who these other folks are. I mean, we know who they are.
Yeah.
They're
like the Uish. They take their identity and run with it.
Exactly.
That's exactly what they did.
And that's what Soros did. Soros has buses of people being shipped across the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes to show this is the actual Black Lives Matter movement. They killed them brothers and that sister. They killed the actual people who started it.
Yeah.
And now what's left behind? These trained Marxists.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So ain't that something?
That we wanted to show y'all tonight, man.
Yeah.
Like this is the real deal. Darren Seals, he was the real deal.
Yeah. So when you see these folks getting these Cadillac commercials,
CBS production deals,
right,
cover of Time magazine, like showing up at the Grammys, like
that ain't the movement, man.
Like, when white people accept you like that, yeah. But like you were saying, Malcolm X was talking about be careful of white liberals.
Yeah. And you see how they sweep these brothers under the rug because who's bringing up their names?
Yeah. Nobody. Yeah. Yeah, nobody. Cause a lot of people still know about Darren Seals. They just know about those women.
The only reason I even recall it because when everything was popping off, I was really keeping up with it during that time. So that's when, because I remember the first time I heard about it was from them.
Yeah. Wow.
But you see, trained Marxists, they destabilize, and guess what they're gonna do? Destabilize the black community.
That's the American way. That's how they do things.
Right.
They destabilize governments. They destabilize movements.
And guess what? They're gonna use black faces to destabilize their own people, and then cut them all, give them a little money, so that hey, look, I'm fine. My family's fine. Me and my white husband are fine.
Yep.
So
that's how they play. Yeah, that's how they play ball, man.
Right.
Yeah, man. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight, man. We had a lot to share.
Boy,
there's a lot of interesting stuff we had to share with y'all, man. So I'm glad y'all hung out tight with us and everything. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, we're live on the Yoshi channel right now. We will be posting this on the Black Narrative channel.
Yes.
And that link will be permanent. Anything you want to add?
Just stay vigilant, y'all.
Yeah, please do, man. I hope y'all have a great night. We catch y'all Thursday night. Shalom.
Shalom, y'all. Good night.
And I'm Akis, and we're the Black Narrative.
We are a Black First and Hebrew Israelite channel on YouTube that broadcasts live every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every week, we discuss controversial issues and challenge false narratives that are fed to Black people through mass media. We share our research through videos and encourage uncomfortable conversations amongst the Black community.
Our show features topics such as exposing fact checkers, the racist history of medical research, the origins of so-called Black Greek fraternity organizations, Christian origins of HBCUs, and much, much more.
Look up The Black Narrative on YouTube or go to our website, www.theblacknarrative.tv.
Shalom.